go.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Take 5 Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Iceman J, kicking it off here once again for another exciting episode. You know, it's me, the host, and my few knucklehead friends. Tonight, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're not just going to give you the EPL as usual. We're going to start off with some basketball. We're going to touch on the NFL, of course. And then we're going to save the best for last by finishing it off with the EPL, talk about our favorite teams, the highlights, the lowlights, Manchester United, and everything else in between. So, before we get to that, let the usual panel introduce themselves, starting off Mr. Fireman. Wayne, go ahead, man.
Big up on yourself. Good night, everybody. This is Wayne, Fireman, Real Madrid supporter. First win today. You don't know.
All right.
Today or yesterday? Which one?
It don't really matter. Same week. Same beaten.
It was Saturday, actually.
Yeah, Saturday.
All right, Garfield, Mega, go ahead, man.
Yeah, people, massive. Welcome back. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your views. You know this is Garfield. What we say, True Blue, JC to the world. Big up yourself, fans. Everybody tune in, like. What's this? Take 5, not 6, not 4, but what?
5.
5, all right. Zico, go ahead, talk to the people.
Yeah, good night. Zico the baller. Arsenal supporter lose today, unfortunately. Never expect any different. But tune in for the show. I'm excited tonight. I have a lot to talk about. A lot to get off my chest.
All right, Nigel, the boss. Go ahead, Mr. Gill.
What's up, people? You know what this is. Nigel the truth. But let's get something clear, man. There can only be one True Blue. Nano JC. CC. Come on, bro. CC.
All right, for the international audience who have no ideas what these people is talking about. All right, that's their local island Jamaican rivalry. But we're not going to get to that tonight. All right, that's a whole nother topic. We are going to kick it off and talk about the NBA.
Yes.
First hot topic. There are two things in life that are assured: death and taxes. But LeBron James is making it to the NBA Finals, third on the list. So we have to kick that off and start off with the panel and ask them what they think about this. LeBron James making his 11th Finals appearance, or is his 10th? Oh my God. 20 years and 10 Finals appearance. That's
feel like 20 years for real.
17 though.
17?
Yeah, feel like 20.
Feel like 20, But all right, guys. Let me hear what you guys think about the Lakers' run to the finals. As LeBron has it easy, a lot of people said he wasn't going to do it in the West. Here he is in his second year in the West. Strolled right through. Gentleman sweep in the first round. Gentleman sweep in the second round. Gentleman sweep again in the third round and back right where he belongs in the finals.
Yep.
Mr. Wayne, give me your thoughts. What do you think about the Lakers and their run to the finals, man?
Well, I expected them to reach the finals, but with coming into the playoffs, yes, they played Portland, and I didn't expect them to win in 5. I thought it was gonna go like 6 or 7, to be honest. Then they got to Denver, and I'm like, I'm not even talking about you. Let's leave Houston for now for time purposes. They get to Denver, and I say, yo, I expect if we got another 6. I expect if we got 6. I never expect it if we got 7. But they made it look easy. So it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough on Miami. But you never know. Maybe you get a good finals in 6 or so, but they look tough. They look tough to beat.
They look tough to beat.
Yeah, and they're
tough
chameleon.
To beat for who? Miami?
Yeah.
Yes, as a Miami fan of 2 years ago, where do your loyalty lie?
I'm a Lebron fan. Get it together, Jermaine. I'm a Lebron fan.
You're a LeBron fan.
Good try, though. I like that.
We bring you into our life, our sporting life.
Bandwagon is Mega, give me your thoughts. Tell me about the Lakers and their run to the finals, please.
Yes, and leave me
Without,
alone.
without a shadow of a doubt, it's an impressive run. LeBron and Anthony Davis, pure class. The role player stepping up, Dwight Howard being a 9, the defensive intensity by the team, Rondo, veteran presence, leadership, same as Danny Green, veteran leadership. He finally found his stroke. A very, very impressive run. Portland was a little, hot team in the bubble, but when the reality set in, that bubble got popped by LeBron and AD. I'm very impressed by Anthony Davis in this playoff run as well. You can see that he's clearly stepped up and he's not going on for the ride. He's not tagging on for the ride. He's definitely a major contributor and definitely a co-conspirator as a leader for the Los Angeles Lakers. Very impressive run for the finals. Hats off to them.
Okay. All right. Zico, as you've heard the two guys said, Lakers had a good run, decent run. With this being LeBron James team time in the finals, before we get to who will win, do you think the outcome of this finals will have an impact on his legacy?
Nah, you spend half his career in the finals, so how is it going to have an impact on his legacy?
and where just
Let's
for
think about it. He's been in the league 17 years, and he's been in the finals 10 times. Even though he only have 3 championships, still won't impact his legacy. But still can't. The argument is always going to be there if he's the greatest of all time. In my humble opinion, no, Michael Jordan is. He went to the finals 6 straight times, won 6 straight championships, 6 straight MVPs. Finals MVPs. So LeBron is the top 5 all-time player. Don't get me wrong, but he always plays on stacked team. Don't get me wrong. You always have the best. One of the best players are the top 2 players in the league. From teaming up with Miami, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, then moving back to Cleveland, getting rid of Andrew Wiggins and trading for Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving. So he always plays on stacked team. I didn't expect anything less because the bubble and the rest of coronavirus extra time give him more time to rest instead of taking the task of an entire season as he ages. You know what I mean? So that helped him to revitalize and be stronger and more powerful. So I expected them to make. I expect the Clippers to challenge them, but the Clippers fail miserable. Now they fire their coach Doc Rivers. So I'm hoping to see. I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen next. But I hope Miami beat them. Duncan Hero, Tyler Hero, and Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler. Let's go!
All right, Nigel, you heard what Zico had to say about LeBron legacy. Do you agree with him?
No, I definitely don't agree with him. To me, LeBron is the greatest. No disrespect to Michael Jordan, but to me, LeBron is. Not just for his work on the court, but also off the court. We can look at great players and they do great things on the court, but a lot of them don't really do anything off the court for their own community.
So can I say something? So you're saying that LeBron is the greatest because of his social activism,
along with the court play.
Activism? Is that what you're saying? Because Michael Jordan didn't speak out on black issues or what was affecting black people, and LeBron James is. So you're saying that's what makes him the greatest player of all time?
Plus he's played on court. What he does on the court. Being in the final, what 65% of your career?
I think that's what it worked out.
That is I agree with Nigel that is remarkable. And when you look across other sports, the greatest of all time title has always been attached to players who not only had an impact on the court, but off the court.
I disagree.
So I see your point there, Nigel. I see your point there.
I disagree.
Go ahead.
No, let me break it down one at a time.
Let's hear Miller thoughts on this real quick.
Let me break it down one at a time. Jerry Rice is considered the greatest football player Nobody discusses his social impact. So in no other sport is the impact off the court or off the field taking in advice. Now
Who's
you're
the
saying
greatest
LeBron.
football
Now
player?
1 second, Zico. Now you're saying that LeBron James is a very impressive run. 10 finals in 17 years. So what about 6 finals in 13 years?
That's not even 50%. That's like 46, what,
That's a
46%?
higher percentage than 10 out of 17. 6
No.
out of 13.
No.
No, don't say that to the people. Like 6 out of 13 is higher percentage than 10 out of 17. What
Yes.
what's Nigel?
All right.
Your accountant. People don't know. 6
Copy.
out of 13
Me go
is a higher
ask.
percentage
Quick
than
match.
10 out of 17.
Me go
And
ask.
in those 6 finals, he was undefeated and the MVP of each final. So
Yo,
LeBron James, what I'm very impressed on with LeBron James' legacy is the longevity of his career. To be
Yes.
able to maintain his
Can I
body,
come back in?
maintain his status as the best player in the NBA for such a long time. That's
Yes.
a very impressive run. So this
Okay.
finals won't impact his legacy because his legacy is set in stone. But his 3-6 record, possibly 4-6 record, takes him out of the conversation of the greatest player of all time.
Thank you.
Can I say back something?
Yes.
go on, Nigel.
When
I may
we're
have
talking
something
about
after you.
when we're talking about the greatest player, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your greatest player is not necessarily going to be my greatest player. And the reason for me having someone as greatest player,
No, but you did say the greatest player of all time. You did say that.
to
You
me,
didn't say my greatest player.
Zico,
I'm
let the
saying
man finish, no man.
Let him
Zico,
finish. Let him
to
finish.
me,
Let him finish.
to me, he's the greatest player of all time because I
Okay,
want
then a different
on
argument that
court and off the court. And if you look at it, 10 out of 17, that's 60-65%. 6 out of 13, that's 45%. Come on now, let's really talk about this. Plus, I would say this: Michael Jordan, the teams that Michael Jordan were on, to me, were a better team than most of the teams LeBron were on. And LeBron took lesser teams all the way to the final on his back.
Thank you, Nigel. Thank you very much. That is what I was going to say when Zico talk about 6 out of 6. Give me a chance. Zico and hold on. Zico and Garfield said mentioned the 6 out of 6 thing, right? Me not even talk about LeBron off the field arguments them were involved in. Because Jordan never do any of that. So we not use that. We not go hold against him. We talk about on the field. You go tell me, say, if every time Jordan come up a man say 6 out of 6. But one to the time him never did go on a final. He wasn't going to no finals for one. Two, when we talk about rings, we always bring up rings, right? If you're gonna talk about rings, how much ring Robert Torrey them have and Bill Russell them have?
No, that's
them
small.
people.
That argument deserves a mute.
No.
Go
No.
Go ahead. Zico, go ahead. Let's hear what your rebuttal. You was trying to get in for a hot minute. Go in with your rebuttal.
All right. So, my argument is that all the teams that Jordan played on is better than LeBron's team.
Wait, answer that.
Michael Jordan owned that stock.
Zico.
Scottie Pippen, really.
Hold on, me answer the question there. All right, hold on. Me make you finish, but me say this to you, and then me gonna make you go, right?
You talk.
Right. You see, Jordan. You see, LeBron's. Me go say the first 5-6 years before him go Miami. You remember them team that where LeBron was on? Who depend them team there? You can't. Nobody can tell me who they on them team. Until him go Miami, everybody done. Larry Hughes and what?
Boozer, Carlos Boozer.
Carlos Boozer was a good player.
Stop. Stop it.
Okay. Before Scottie, all right. So before Scottie Pippen arrived to help Michael Jordan used to be lost. The Detroit Pistons used to clobber him. Boston Celtics used to clobber him. Right?
But on go on like say LeBron when LeBron get teammate it's like a fault. But when Scottie Pippen,
so the difference is
loaded,
leave and recruit the best players to play with him. That's the difference. Carmelo
I
Anthony was
agree
supposed to
with you,
listen.
Zeke.
Can
I agree. Go ahead. Keep going. You're preaching.
Carmelo Anthony was supposed to be down in South Beach with LeBron, but
They
he
won
chose
10
the money.
championships.
He chose the money to go to New York rather than to go win a championship. That's why they call Chris Bosh. He was supposed to be the top 3 player. You know who was the top 4 players out of that draft that year? LeBron was right. LeBron, right?
LeBron won.
And
Darko Miller.
one of the guys not even playing in the league anymore. He's over there in somewhere in Europe doing farming wine, making grape or whatever he's doing.
Oh, Darko Miller, man, yeah.
Yeah, and Dwayne Wade. So those were the top 3 best players in the job. Right?
I think it was Chris Bosh, then Dwayne Wade.
Thank you.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So are you gonna tell me those are you win his first 2 championships, right? Those are the best players in the league. Then Dwayne Wade got older and his knees start aching him. And what did he do? Leave and go back to Cleveland where he got younger talent, #1 draft picks, a lot of cap build up and equity build up in Cleveland. Then Cleveland get old and Kyrie and him can't agree. What he did? Asked for Kyrie to trade when he saw the team suck. Kevin Love having his mental issues and mental breakdown. What did he do? Boom, go to LA. What did he do? First thing he said, yo, Mike, Magic, we need to get AD over here.
He never necessarily said that. He made that try to play with the players then where I'm
and that's where I end the point.
There was no way LeBron was agreed to spend the rest of his career with that young core. No way. Okay? They had a gentleman's agreement that they were going to make trades and signing to bring other players around him. And he trusted that they would do their job.
Thank you.
The issue I have with LeBron James, not with his talent, not with his winning record, but everything what Zico said. If he had stayed with one team, which was the criteria for most of the other greats, which what they had to do because of the time period that they lived in, they fought with who they had. LeBron James had been fortunate enough and smart enough and savvy enough, and I give him credit for that, to give himself the freedom to move around and put himself in the best position to win.
Thank you.
And because of that, as a team, he has made himself available for the best team and put himself in the best position to win.
All the time.
The man tired flus. The man tired. The man a waste him career in Cleveland the first 5-6 years. But not German. Go on.
Wasting his career in Chicago before he started winning.
Hold on, Nigel, go ahead.
Go on, Gaffy.
No, I want to apologize to my Take 5 Massive. I am going to let you go, Nigel. I apologize. I was so excited and disappointed in this take, guys, because this is not even a comparison that I misstated the facts. 10 out of 17 is a higher percentage than 6 out of 13. Go ahead, Nigel. Take the floor.
What I want to say, I'm not going to penalize LeBron for wanting to be on a good team. I wanted to win. When he was in Cleveland, they weren't getting any players, and he was shouldering the whole team on his back for years. So what's the problem with wanting to win? I wanted good players around him.
There's no problem with that. There's absolutely no problem with that.
Exactly.
So one of the things I don't hold that against him for doing it. I just don't give him added credit for it. I don't hold that against him either, because it's good that these players take control of their careers, and that's one of the big things when you talk about LeBron's legacy. That's that player empowerment, the athlete empowerment. That's a big factor in the legacy. So hats off to LeBron for that. That's a big credit, and that's a stripe on his shoulder for doing that. But I'm talking about the level of basketball. Michael Jordan made 9 All-NBA defensive teams. Kobe Bryant, in terms of intensity, Michael Jordan was the greatest player on both sides of the floor. He dominated on both sides of the floor. 82 games a season without load management. Every day, he respected the fact that somebody is going to come to that stadium that I've never seen him play before. And he made sure that he showed up. And not only did he show up, but he performed. These conversations are always hard. Because in highlighting one person, it seems like you're tearing down somebody else. So, LeBron, hats off to you. You're great. And you deserve all the accolades that you have achieved because you have worked for it.
All right.
But
And
Michael
thing
Jordan
before
is just in a different category.
the last thing before we move on
LeBron
to
is
the
in a
Heat
different category for me.
is that I would say LeBron James' legacy as a in totality might be greater than Michael Jordan. But Michael Jordan as a basketball player, it's not even close.
So we
13 years
we have to,
versus
I have to say
17
something
years.
on that. Everybody, we talk about LeBron James off the court. Do you recognize that Michael Jordan is the reason for athlete endorsements? Do you realize the business impact that Michael Jordan had on the city of Chicago? Do you realize the impact that before Michael Jordan, Nike wasn't the shoe company to be with?
Okay,
Do you understand that Michael Jordan is the one who lifted that brand? We also talking about community and what people did for their community. Jordan was in the background and he was donating money. Yes, he wasn't vocal, but he was supportive of many causes. And that was highlighted by his friend Spike Lee, that he was behind the scenes donating. So the off the court impact, don't get it wrong, people. And I want to make sure, that's why I had to make sure I say this. Jordan is a greater player because of his on the court, what he accomplished on the court. But off the court, Michael Jordan is also greater than LeBron from a business perspective. That's why, what's the number one selling shoe in America right now?
Yeezys.
That has nothing. Hold up.
And every year they come up back with the same
you're a
one.
lawyer, buddy.
Hold up.
Yeah, try switch.
Hold up.
Okay, all right. One final point before we move on. One final point. Go ahead, Nigel. Go ahead.
Having the number one shoe in the country has nothing to do with your work off the court. Also, I'm gonna say there's a lot of things people are involved in that we do not know. And if I should get into certain things right now, it would not be pretty. But I'm gonna leave that for a private conversation off the record to show you certain things that people are involved in, and you're gonna be like, why are you involved in that when that is causing that to your own community? You understand what I'm saying? But we're gonna have that private. I wanna get into hold on, Jeremy. I wanna get into the Lakers making it to the NBA final. I think they had an easy road basically through the Western Conference. Reason being, if you have the number one player in the world, plus to me, the number 4 player in the world on the same team, against these teams, it is no competition to me. So I don't see the big point of how they made it through and it's miracle. Nah, it should have been easy, and it was easy.
Okay. All right, let's switch to the other side. The Heat. How surprised are you guys by their run to the finals? How impressed are you guys with Jimmy Butler? What do we have to say about Pat Riley, the ringmaster? I think this is his 3rd championship team that he has built in Miami. From the first title run with Dwayne Wade and Shaq, retooled again with Dwayne Wade, LeBron, and Chris Bosh, the newly formed Heatles. And now this scrappy bunch of hardcore veterans and young talent once again scrapping their way again to the finals. Zeke, give us your thought as our Miami Heat fan. How impressed, surprised, and joyous are you? I think you have to unmute yourself.
Ice, you got jokes. Anyway, I think Jimmy Butler's finally found a home. Let's say that. The stigma around him was that he's a bad teammate, bad leader, Look now, he's a great teammate, great leader. You know what I mean? And he's going to the finals, first ever finals, with a young core guys who's playing their butts off. No crybaby, hard work. So that's good. Pat Riley and Eric put a great team together. Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, who are these kids? Bama Adebayo, who are these kids? Who are these kids? So I'm surprised they knocked off a lot of team Milwaukee Bucks. Everybody has them as a favorites to go to the finals this year. That didn't happen. Then they beat a very good Boston young team. Jason Tatum is a superstar in this league. Let's not forget that. And I am, surprised, and I am shocked. I'm not even gonna lie. I never expect them to make it to the finals. And now I'm rooting for them to upset the favorites, LeBron, who they said is going to be a sweep again. Mr. Wayne over there, Mr. LeBron James himself.
Nobody said it was going to be a sweep, Zika. Don't put words in my mouth.
Okay. Zeke, let's hear Wayne as a former Miami Heat fan. Wayne.
Wayne is a former fan of every team.
How about I travel wherever LeBron goes?
LeBron was not in Sacramento.
But out of foolishness, man.
Your former team making it.
But on a serious note, my hats off to Miami Heat, Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra. Is a good run, and as Zico say, I'm surprised that they made it to the finals, because first of all, I didn't expect them to pass Milwaukee, and while I was 50-50 on the Boston game, I didn't expect them to pass Milwaukee at all. So Milwaukee, you guys need to step it up. You can't be wasting a great player that you have, even though he's young.
Greek is going to Warriors a year in first Take 5 nation.
All right.
I hear you.
But not 4, not 3, not 2, 5. Take 5.
But I don't.
Greek is going to the Warriors. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. The Greek, could you imagine that? Oh, LeBron would be run out the West.
I hope not. But anyways, in them facing Lakers, as I was saying earlier, it will be a good fight, because it's a bunch of scrappy players. They fight for everything, and they're an excellent 3-point shooting team. And as Zico said, Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson, those guys are doing big things. So I commend them, and good luck to them in the final, even though I expect Lakers to pull out the victory.
All right. Typical bandwagon. Nigel, give us your thoughts, please.
Excellent points, Wayne and Zico. I would agree with Zico that I think Butler has found a home in terms of, when I look at Jimmy Butler play, he's not what you call a pretty player. He's a scrappy player. Someone who's going to play defense and who's going to play hard on the offense as well. And Miami, when I watch Miami play and you dig into them, they're a scrappy team that plays excellent defense. It doesn't look pretty or eye-appealing, but they get the job done. It's an all-round team. They can shoot the tree.
They're fearless, Nigel. They're fearless.
Inside, and they play defense. So I agree with that.
They're fearless.
All right.
Big up, Bam.
Yes, this Miami team is very impressive. One of the things you have to start off is Jimmy Butler. I'm very happy for him that he's getting the credit that he deserves. I remember in the playoffs, they were comparing him to that little young and up-and-coming Indiana player and talking about rivalry with him. And it shows that Jimmy Butler level this is the competition where Jimmy really belongs. On the level of these not top-tier superstars. When you look at a player and the impact of a player, take Jimmy Butler. Take Jimmy Butler off the Chicago Bulls. Where have they been since? Jimmy Butler then went to Minnesota. That was doing nothing before he got there. Up until he went to Minnesota, they made it to the playoffs. Where have they been since he left? Philadelphia was his next stop. Couldn't get along with those young guys because those young guys, them too Hollywood. Then they're not willing to put in the hard, dirty work. But they want
only lost by a buzzer beater.
Joel Embiid just want to be big man and shoot 3-pointer, but not willing to go down and dirty. So now he went to a team that is the definition of down and dirty. Hard and gritty. Yeah, they have some superstar players in the past in their history. But you know the foundational superstar of that franchise, Alonzo Mourning. They're on and gritty. And in the Tim Hardaway, gritty. So now Jimmy is home sweet home. And anytime you go home and you get that home cooking, boy, people, let me tell you. So that's what they're going on down there in Miami and Southeast. Enough home cooking. And Jimmy and those guys, let me tell you, they're eating it all up. And don't be so take 5. Stay tuned. Because you're going to predictions are coming soon.
The predictions are coming right up, but you never said anything more fitting. Once you describe Florida, down and dirty is the right term. Anyways, let's get to our finals predictions between who we think will win. All right. Win. Let me hear you. Lakers, Heat. Who will win? How many games and who's the MVP?
Lakers in 5, Lebron MVP.
5. Wow. Zico, how
Gentleman
you
sweep.
respond to that?
Me?
Yeah, how you respond?
Yes, Miami fan.
I respond with an upset. I'm rooting for Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Butler.
How many games?
I would say 6 games.
6. Miami in 6. Who's the MVP?
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler. All right. All right. Nigel, predictions?
Right now, I'm gonna go with Lakers in 6. I'm gonna have Anthony Davis as the MVP.
Wow.
Okay. Mega?
People. Into Jesus, meek and mild. Look down on those Lakers and their tears after Miami hit them up in 6. Bam Adebayo for the MVP. Lakers in 6. Going down in 6. I'm sorry. Miami will win the championship in 6 games.
You want to put some wager on that?
Yes.
Ask him that for Nigel.
All right.
Joking.
So we have 2 Miami and 2 Lakers. I'll break the tie. As
People, Iceman is a Laker fan.
Iceman is a
Right.
Lakers fan.
So
as
if
a Laker
you
fan and a proud LeBron hater, this is a
Right.
tough one. As
Thank
I've
you.
always been a proud LeBron hater. And that hasn't changed even though now he's played on my team. So my pick is truly unbiased. I think Anthony Davis will struggle against Bam. And I think there will be an upset alert and Lakers will win in 7. So let's move